Hello and welcome to another beautiful episode of Softline. I am Nancy Banigo, and with me today I have a new face in the building. Peace. Ezike. Was it Ezike, right?
Ezike.
Ezike. All right. Yeah. You're welcome, Peace.
So, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Ezike Peace. I know this face might be new to you all, but I'm still one of us. Yeah.
She has been operating from the background, so she decided to come forward today. Nice having you on here.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Nancy.
Okay, so Peace, how have you been?
I've been fine.
All right. How is the service here?
Yeah, in as much as it's kind of stressful, the whole language barrier, because I'm not in my state.
Oh,
but I'm still coping.
Something.
Yeah, I'm enjoying this place for real.
Okay,
Yes.
so how are you managing with the language thing?
I just, like, whenever they speak the BBO language, I'll just tell them that I don't understand them. So they have to speak English for me to understand. But
Okay.
I'm learning. I'm learning.
Oh, nice to know. Do you know, I was in this state for more than 6 years. I could not say anything.
I'm
in the
learning.
BBO.
The colleagues here are helping me too.
Okay.
Yeah. So
all right,
I'm
but I think
enjoying
it's interest. Once you focus your mind on learning the
Yeah,
language,
I
you
will.
pick them. So since you are freshly out of school, can you just give us, the economic hardship and everything, transportation? I hear transportation, it's something else now. So somebody was saying earlier on that she's glad she had left school. She's imagining how people in the school are coping. So since you just finished not too far away, right?
Yeah.
So
So
tell
I'm
us a
going
little bit more.
I'm going to say that every student out there is really trying, because the economy is not even helping at all. I can remember in my first year, my transport from my lodge to the school was 70 naira.
Oh, really?
But before I graduated, it was up to 400 naira.
Wow.
Like, the hike in price was too much. So to every student out there, I know the pocket money they are sending you is not enough, but please just manage and try to be contented. If possible, you can learn an online skill or maybe start a business as a side hustle to at least help your parents. At least that's will go a long way, because the economy is not even friendly at all. So just try. Yeah.
That's a good advice, Peace.
Yes.
We've been talking about learning skills, even if you're not in school, it's always advisable, or it's better to have
learn something,
to have side hustles, multiple streams of income, instead of depending on just one stream.
Yes,
All right,
exactly.
Peace. Let's go on a very short break, and when we come back, we'll introduce our guests as well as our topic. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
In a world of overwhelming voices, where everyone has different opinion on different issues, it is important that we bring the core issue to the fore. Join me, Nancy Banigo, on Softline as we lend our voices to inform and influence your thoughts and actions. This is not just mere talk, it is an invocative program that touches the core of our existence.
No matter wetin I see, enough fit make mouth heavy to talk am. That's now why people dey talk.
You know wetin dey worry you, but you no go fit take help yourself.
In this kind of situation now, what if they really no talk to una? Wetin be the way forward?
They go bury our chairman on Thursday. We go remain here.
Make we talk good where we dey see good, and where we know say we no dey see good, make we also dey talk am.
No woman, no mother deserve to know the grave of his child.
The bank manager, the bank executive, they are the one the government should first pay.
People They Talk, the show on Monday to Friday by 5 p.m. on top ADBN TV.
It is Groovy Mono, aka the Steve Prince.
Yo, what's up? It's Big Shags. I'm in London.
Hey guys, I'm Princess Jekoko. My name is Mutale Mwanza, the Queen of Zambian Media.
My name is Grand Prince Aita. Hi guys, my name is Baj Adebule. I'm an actor and a filmmaker.
Hello guys, I'm Falagade Banks.
My name is Kelechi Amadiobi, photographer, storyteller.
My name is Nanrade Dura, I'm an actor.
My name is Chidi Mokime.
Hi, my name is Uche Uba.
It's Tube Season.
I'm Miss Thames.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, mamas and papas. I am Jimmy. You can call me the entertainer.
My name is Essie Odometa. I am an actor and a film producer.
My name is Vico Vala.
Hi. My name is Julius the Genius. I would give a shout out to ADBN.
Big shout out to ADBN TV.
You're watching ADBN.
And you are watching.
Keep watching ADBN TV.
And this is ADBN TV.
And this is a shout out to ADBN TV. Keep watching, don't switch the dial. Shout out to ADBN. Keep watching, love.
And you are watching ADBN TV.
Shout out to ADBN TV. I've got one thing for you. Make sure you keep watching ADBN TV.
And shout out
to ADBN TV.
Shout out to ADBN TV. Don't touch the dial.
And you're watching
ADBN TV. Keep watching ADBN TV.
And I'm shouting out to ADBN TV.
You're watching ADBN TV.
Keep watching ADBN TV. This is where to be. And you're watching ADBN.
And shout out to
ADBN TV.
And shout out to ADBN TV. Keep watching.
And you're watching ADBN TV.
Keep watching ADBN TV.
Right now you are checking out ADBN TV. One time.
ADBN. Keep watching. I love you and kisses.
Keep watching ADBN. And a special shout out to ADBN. Keep doing what you're doing, guys.
Please don't touch that dial.
Stay groovy.
Hey, Bobby.
It's a shout out to ADBN.
ADBN, Advocate Broadcasting Network.
In a world of overwhelming voices where everyone has different opinion on different issues, it is important that we bring the core issue to the fore. Join me, Nancy Banigo, on Softline as we lend our voices to inform and influence your thoughts and actions. This is not just mere talk, it is an evocative program that touches the core of our existence.
No matter wetin I see, enough fit make mouth heavy to talk am. That's now why people dey talk.
You know wetin dey worry you, but you no go fit take help yourself.
In this kind of situation now, what if they really no talk to una? Wetin be the way forward?
They go bury our chairman on Thursday. We go remain here.
Make we talk good where we dey see good, and where we know say we no dey see good, make we also dey talk am.
No woman, no mother deserve to know the grave of his child.
The bank manager, the bank executive, they are the one the government should first pay.
People They Talk, the show on Monday to Friday by 5 p.m. on top ADBN TV.
Welcome back and thanks for being there. So as we gather today to discuss mental health, let's remember that the mind is a powerful tool that can either be our greatest strength or our most crippling weakness. Yet, social stigma and silence often shroud mental illness in darkness, leaving many to suffer in secret. Today, let's break the silence and shine a light on the struggles, the triumphs, and the hope that defines our collective journey towards healing and understanding. So joining us on this discussion today is pharmacist Anderson. Tony. He is the Chairman, Association of Community Pharmacists of Nigeria, a certified mental health expert, and also a member of Nigerian Society of Substance Use Prevention and Treatment Professionals. Thank you so much, Doctor, for coming on the show today.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so we also have another guest in the house. She's a survivor, like we call them. Survivor. So her name is Jubilee Azubike. She's the founder, the Regina Mental Health Foundation. Jubilee, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
I love the name Jubilee.
Thank you.
Celebration, right?
Of course.
All right, so that's good. So I'm going to start with, I don't even know, should I start with the pharmacist or should I start with my survivor here? Because I think I'm going to get more powerful talks from Jubilee, right? Yeah. So let's start with Jubilee, since we are even a lady. Ladies first, let's say. All right, so thank you for coming once again.
Thank you for having me.
So we're discussing mental health, and I know it's not a new topic to you, right?
Sure.
Tell us a little. When was it you came to realize how important mental health situation or a mental health condition it's supposed to be?
Okay, I came to the realization of how important mental health is 5 years ago.
Okay.
Because it was exactly 5 years ago that I found help. I discovered that I needed help.
Okay.
And ever since that realization, it's been the way we see it, from glory to glory kind of movement, whereby you are experiencing growth. You are seeing the growth is coming from the inside out, and even people around you can see and appreciate your journey so far. Yeah, so it was exactly 5 years ago.
And so this, you said you discovered, as in, you know, when you put the story, like you were in a state where it seems as if everything was over, and all of a sudden you saw light. So could you just give us a little bit of those stories, you know, what actually happened? How did you get to find yourself in such a situation?
Okay. So I used to be a daddy's girl.
Okay.
I think a good number of women can understand what it means to be a daddy's girl.
Yes.
All right, so that was the kind of life I had until 2008, when my father traveled and never came back. And so right from the day that I got the news of his demise, I didn't shed a tear. I didn't cry. I kind of knew he was going to die, despite that I was 9 at the time, going to 10. I never have been able to understand that experience. So what happened was, before you get to my house, there's this big tree that you would pass before you get to my house. And so I remember that afternoon coming back with my lunchbox and my bag slung behind my back. I got to this tree and I heard an audible voice, very audible, says, "What if your father is dead?" That was what came to what I heard. And so I kind of rebuked it. And then on getting home, there was a crowd of people. There was my mom sprawled on the floor, crying, and I just knew that it has to be that. I remember entering the kitchen and meeting the women that were there assisting with cooking and asking, what happened? What's the problem? Why are people in my house? Then I remember one of the women saying, "Oh, don't worry, come and eat rice, there is mold, you know." Then I remember telling her, "Oh, don't worry, don't tell me, I know what happened." And that was it. I didn't cry. I think I was happy that there were a lot of people in my house. There were so many friends, so many people to play with. And it was the day that he was buried. I saw the corpse. He was looking so fine, so handsome. My dad is fair-skinned, so you can imagine how good looking he was lying in that coffin. So it was the day I saw that corpse. Then coming to the house, I realized that, okay, so this man has entered the ground. I remember pouring sand on his coffin, and then it dawned on me that, okay, I'm not seeing this man again.
Wow.
That's the end of it. And so that night was when I began to cry cried until I slept off, and I believe that that was the beginning of a new phase of my life. And it was like at that point, from that moment up until 10 years later, it was like something happened, and every person that used to be close to me, it was like they were told, okay, everybody leave this girl alone, let her suffer whatever it is that is coming at her. That was how it felt. It was so bad that even during this period that I was going through those mental health challenges, that I was almost raped as well. And if the person had taken advantage of me, I probably
wouldn't have even known what was going on.
Because that day it happened. After that night, the next morning, you know, when someone tries to violate you, if you see the person, you want to, you know, grab the person by their collar and, you know, give them a very good blow. But the next morning I saw him and I'm looking like a zombie. It was 2 years later, after I had started working on myself, that I realized that, oh, so what that man tried to do was actually to take advantage. And that was when I began to feel the anger that I was supposed to have felt 2 years ago. So that was how detached I was from myself. It was like I was living in another world. I could be here and I'm already enjoying whatever it is that, you know, I was seeing. So it was just,
wow,
an interesting phase that I had to go to. Yeah.
So sorry about what you went through.
I'm grateful for it, actually.
Yeah. Wow, I'm speechless. But I don't know, Uche, do you have anything you want to ask her first before we bring our doctor in?
So I wanted to ask, amidst all the problems you went through, how were you able to hold up? How were you able to move on to, like,
to become
the woman you are today?
Okay. Yes. Right from time, if there was something that my mom had taught me, was the power of prayer.
Okay.
So most of the times when I am having those bouts of attacks from those health challenges, mental health conditions, she always knew when she looked at me, although she didn't know what that was, but she knew that something is wrong with me. And so whenever she looks at me and she notices that, she will say, Juby, go and pray. And so sometimes I just go on my knees. I'm not even able to pray. I just cry and then I sleep off on my knees. Sometimes I'm able to pray, but I think if there is anything that held me, that was the foundation of any form of help that I got, I would just put all that on my mother's prayer and my own prayer as well. But largely my mother's prayer. And then also, another thing that helped me was that I noticed that right from time, God has been so kind to put people at strategic points in my life. So it's like I am walking along this path, and then God knows that when I get to, let's say, junction X, I would need Mr. Y. And so God happens to just put them there. And sometimes I even get there, I'm not even aware that I even need them. And so sometimes they are the ones that even make the move. And then being someone that my mom always had always encouraged my dreams, I didn't find it hard to, you know, test the waters. I've always been somebody that likes adventure. I like to try new things. I don't mind just putting all of my head and legs, everything inside. I don't mind, you know, getting drowned in the process. And so that's to help.
So we can, from your story now, it's obvious your mother was also a strong pillar behind you.
A very strong pillar.
All right, let's bring pharmacist Tony into our discussion. You know, as a certified mental health expert, I know you've seen firsthand mental health cases just like the one she had explained now. And so I would like to ask, what made you actually become a mental health advocate. And what do you think you can do, to change the narrative when we talk about mental health in Nigeria especially?
Yes, I took a special interest in mental health because mental health is one aspect of health that is not getting so much of an attention.
Okay.
And there's not so much information about mental health. A lot of people, if you look at the statistics of the Federal Ministry of Health, it's clearly stated that over 30% of Nigerians have one mental health issue or the other. And so while issues of mental health are increasing, most people are not aware, they are not informed, and there are not enough hands.
Okay.
When you look at people that deal with mental health, they are fewer in number when compared to the population of the country. And so the essence was to help humanity and contribute to wherever I could do voluntarily to help people and discuss with people, particularly those that need to be spoken with, those that need conversation. Now, if you look at today's, the theme of today was suicide prevention. Today is actually marked the world over as a World Suicide Prevention Day. The theme is changing the narrative of suicide. Take action and start the conversation. We want to start having an unshamed conversation about suicide, because when you look at suicide, it's an act of taking one's life. And that act is deliberate, is self-inflicted, is intentional, with the ultimate aim of dying, of causing death. And when you look at suicide too, it's a public health emergency, not just localized in Nigeria, but of international concern too. Because it's also good in programs like this, we roll out the statistics. Even though the data are not, are suppressed kind of, because of factors of stigmatization, discrimination, and then recently, sadly, criminalization. Because people that attempt suicide now is under criminal code section, I think 327. They are liable to a 1 year imprisonment, which doesn't sit well with me, because that's not the way to go for people that are looking for help. I do not see why or imagine why people that have mental health, somebody have attempted a suicide. And don't forget, mental health problem is like any other health challenge, like malaria, diabetes, hypertension. All what those people need is help. So imprisoning them simply because they attempted it, how would that even help the situation? That's on one hand. The way you look at the statistics, over 700,000 deaths per year worldwide, according to the WHO. Then, according to WHO again, 9.5% of every 100,000 deaths are as a result of suicide. Meaning that out of 100 deaths, 1 is as a result of suicide. And again, every 40 seconds, 1 person dies of suicide somewhere in the world. When you look at those statistics, it's frightening. And when you look at suicide, 90% of suicidal acts is caused by depression. And there's also another statistic that shows that in every 4 Nigerians, 1 has a depressed kind of situation, particularly because of the way the economy is. And when we talk of suicide, it's not something that started now. The first documented and recorded suicide in Nigeria occurred in 1962. And since then, it has been increasing. At some point, you find out that when there's one case, within a short while, there will be more cases. There will be a repel, there will be a multiplying effect on it. And so with all of those data and depth, it interested me to also, get trained about issues of mental health so that we could help people. A lot of people are having that issue, and some people are not even aware that they need help. Some people are not even aware till the suicide now occurs. And you find out that one death in suicide, somebody could just have suicide and die. It will create thousands of other deaths of the people that the family the siblings and the stigma.
The people that were left behind.
The people that are left, they will now be dying over and over because they won't be able to come to terms with it. They won't be able to comprehend it. And then when you look at suicide, it's cut across all ages, gender, tribes, profession. If you look at your history, you find out that there's hardly no profession that somebody have committed a suicide. Last time I was looking through some book and I saw a story where a newscaster that was reading news all of a sudden just brought out a firearm and ended her life. And one would ask, why would that happen? You know, some of these things could be impulsive. It's not as if
it was planned.
It was planned. One little offset, maybe financially, relation, disruption, something could just happen, and maybe the person didn't have that resilience and coping mechanism. The person may decide to take his or her life.
We'll come to that to talk about coping mechanism, because you know, talking about the situation now, someone would say probably this is the worst time to even think of being alive. As a Nigerian, someone was telling me how difficult it is for him to even eat 2 square meals a day. So I can imagine that kind of a person, what will be going through his mind. So we'll talk more about that. Peace, would you want to ask him any question?
Yes. So in as much as suicide is gradually becoming a thing in our society now, many people want to end their lives because of one problem or the other. Is there like any means, or you can just give us an information of any way that you can prevent suicide? Like you see this person now, this person wants to commit suicide, like the person is having suicidal thoughts in him. Is there any way, is there anything you can do to help the person to abolish such things?
When somebody starts having a suicide desire, before the main suicide occurs, there will be some signs. If it's not impulsive, something that the person just will do now, there will be some signs that will show, and most of those signs will come as a result of depression. You could see the person being isolated. The person will lose interest in what that person normally likes doing. The person will start having maybe sleeping disorder. Either the person will not have sleep at all, or could have what we call an atypical symptom, where the person will rather be sleeping more, just to find comfort in his cocoon. Then you could have even alteration in appetite, the way the person eats. Even the person will cry, the way he's crying. Even will have low libido, will lose interest even in sexual activities, things that before now makes that person happy. There will be that withdrawal, and you find out that the person will not care so much about his look himself. So, and then the person will just start behaving abnormally from the way he or she usually behave. When you see such activities around somebody, there are red flags that there's something happening within and around this person. And sometimes, because of stigmatization and discrimination, they may not really want to come out, because they don't even, most of these things are unconscious. They can't really comprehend what is happening to them. They really, at some point, even when you ask them what is happening to them, they can't explain it clearly or vividly. They could just tell you, I'm not feeling fine, and they really don't have explanation. And if you probe for that, they'll just tell you they can't explain more. That is why when you look at the team, the conversation should start now. We should start looking at...
Let's break the silence.
You should start looking at people, talking to people when they see, when we observe that. That's why knowledge is key. Because people are around. First, you have to be able to help yourself. As we are discussing now, people are listening to us. They are learning. People are also learning. So that if somebody around them is having this issue, they could say, okay, let's check up on this guy. Let's discuss with this guy.
Now, talking about the discussion, that's where the problem is. The kind of discussion you engage with such a person who has a suicidal thought. We've seen instances in Nigeria where somebody is trying to commit suicide, and then people, I've seen one on social media, on Twitter, and then they were saying, die now, you are not the first person. Die now. Okay, there was once somebody climbed the bridge somewhere in Lagos and was trying to jump. And you could see the population below telling him, jump, if you die, world no go end. You know, such conversation. So sometimes people really do not know how to talk people out of those kind of situations. So I guess that's where her question is. Like, if you see somebody who has a suicidal thought, what should you even start to tell the person?
Yeah, well, by the time you identify that, as soon as you're able to identify that, you have to, the best is to refer the person to an expert. Okay. Because sometimes people don't know the right words or words to use. Yes.
Might even worsen the situation.
Yes, so, but the best to do is, if you identify that, try to refer the person to a professional. Okay. Because it's the professional that will be able to start the pre-counseling, will be able to adduce, know what to do, console, because there are counseling techniques. Okay. Yeah, that's why sometimes when people have such problems, some will even go to a pastor or to a religious person and all of that. The pastor may really not know the technical way of coming in and taking the person out. And then having such discussion here is something that will take the whole lot of time because it's a professional thing. But first, identify it. Okay. By the time you identify that this person needs help, you could start by words of encouragement. Yes, you could try to encourage the person. Just do whatever you can at the level you can. But the next step is to link the person to a professional counselor or a psychiatrist or somebody that is higher there, that is more knowledgeable, so that because at the end of the day, the outcome, the result is what we are looking for. Don't forget, you could go and even exacerbate it. And what they are telling the person is not making any sense. And then at the end of the day, the person still goes ahead to do that which the person wanted to go. So it's a technical thing, and it needs a trained professional to put that person through. But what you do at your level first is to give the person encouragement, because people that have suicidal desire and even go ahead to have suicidal attempts are having a very hopeless situation. They feel worthless. So just look at what are the person's immediate needs. Some people, it could just be financial thing. So what can you do? Can you help financially? Can you suggest what the person? You just do whatever you could as a lay person. But let something be done. Let conversation be open. And there are even virtual helplines. If you go to your net now, you see helpline. Don't forget that one of the reasons why, or one of the ways people commit suicide, is that they always go to the net to see what to use. To see practical steps of what to do, or to see how some other person did it. But now there's this design, when you go to net to want to look at those kind of scenario, a number pops up that shows you a helpline. So you now call the number feeling you want to get more details. When you call the number is a trained person and would be able to
talk to you.
Talk you out of that situation.
All right. So my next question is, there are so many misconceptions, surrounding mental health and all that. But before I come to that question, let me speak a little to Jubilee, who is a survivor here. So I would like to know, at what point, he said some stages before the stage of silence, withdrawal, did you pass through all this? Because I remember you saying your mom was like a strong pillar. So if you had your mom there, what still gave you that notion that you were alone and the world was, nobody was there for you and all that? Just take us a little bit into your mind, what you were, what was happening to your mind at that point.
Okay. Excuse me. So when I discovered that I needed help, or even before I discovered that I needed help, how do I put it now? Okay, so after I discovered that I needed help, one of the things that my mom did for me at that point was to be there, like I have said. And the thoughts that were running through my mind at the time was that I was going to maybe get on the streets, become a mad person, just the way that I see other people on the streets. And so what made me to withdraw was I looked at my mom. I could see that she was going through her own challenges, because the stigma, the challenges, the blows that comes with being a widow is something that you can never understand until you are there. And so many times, even when I want to share what I have going on, just looking at her, I can see the suffering in her eyes.
You wouldn't want to add to it.
Yes, exactly. And so I thought there's no point really sharing so many things. And so the times that she knew that, okay, I was struggling was just when she saw me. Or sometimes she can just, maybe if I'm not at home, those days when I was in school, she calls me, she hears my voice, she's like, okay, Jubi, what happened? But besides that, I hardly share all those, you know, rough details with her, because I am just more concerned about her, because I could see that she was suffering as well. She was going through a lot, and I did not want her having to worry about me. Yeah, so that was like the thoughts that prevented me from even speaking up to her, because even after I had discovered that I needed help, I didn't tell her. I told her, I think after I was 2 years gone in helping myself, and she was shocked. I remember the day I told her, she just opened her mouth and was staring at me, because it was like, okay, where are you coming from? Since when did all this happen? So it was just strange to her. So yeah, that was like the things that prevented me from talking to her.
All right. Doctor, we talk about misconceptions, you know, and I think some of these things are what make people actually feel reluctant to come out, to speak out, even when they are facing some of these challenges. So can you give us some of those misconceptions surrounding mental health that you would like to debunk here?
One, people normally feel is a spiritual thing. You know, they feel they associate a lot of spirituality on it, and it differs from place to place based on cultural beliefs on suicide. Like when there's a suicidal case, different cultures approach it differently. They will do social sacrifice, they will appeal social gods, they will do this. So people just feel, and then the stigma is that that family that suicide is coming in or coming out from, even though suicide or suicidal desire could also be a genetic thing, people will now tend to condemn the entire of that family. It will affect relationship, don't marry from there, don't do
suicidal.
things from the societal views. There will be more blow on the people coming there. So there are so many different.
But you're not debunking that. Is it true?
No, it's not true. That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
It's not true, yes.
Because I've heard so many things surrounding. Don't go to that family.
Yes, what I'm saying is that it's not true, because suicide could occur to anybody, irrespective of who that person is. Nobody is really immune against suicide or depression. Anybody could get depressed at any time, because when you look at suicidal desire, there are factors that causes it. One, there must be a pain element for suicidal desire to come. And pains could come from diverse circumstances, like relation disruption, mental illness itself, medical conditions, loss of job, unemployment, loss of loved one that, like she had, ours came from, her pain started when she lost the father. That's what induced the pain. And then humans generally fear pains or try to reduce activities that are painful. Humans prefer pleasure to pains. Now, pains is not sufficient enough alone to induce suicidal desire. The other factors, and the major factor is hopelessness. If you are having this pain and it looks as if the future is so bleak, it looks as if nothing is working, if there is high hopelessness amidst this pain, then the suicidal desire would increase more. But if somebody is having pains from wherever origin and there is hope in future, the person will rather focus on those hope there, the person will take solace on the fact that I'll be able to conquer if I will hold on this case. That will increase the resilience in that person. And you find out that the societal desire will naturally abate. The person may not even be thinking about it or be having that thought. So hopelessness comes in either to make it worse, or if there is hope, to make it better. Then apart from that, by the time the pain exceeds the hopelessness, you now talk about connectedness. Connectedness is your linkages to your family, friends, your jobs, the community, the society. Because one thing is like she was having this issue, she couldn't communicate with anybody. And I believe when she started communicating and having conversation, that helped her in linkages. And so when you don't have that connectedness, you are going to be literally lonely. Loneliness is different from
factor.
Connected. If you can't connect, loneliness comes in, and loneliness is quite different from being alone. You could be amidst people and still very lonely, but you could be alone and not lonely. So the loneliness there is in terms of whom are you connected to, whom are you having. There are times people have very painful situations. All they want to do is to have the right person to talk to, the right person to run to, just somebody to say, do this, do it this way. However, somebody to encourage and motivate that person at that particular time. Now, if that connectedness is not there, it makes the situation worse and increases that desire for those suicidal contemplations. Then from there, when there's a state of hopelessness, there's no connectedness, then meaningless and worthlessness comes in. And the person now starts asking questions, what am I living for? Why am I here? You now start seeing them justify why they should even die. They will tell you, death is dead, we all die. And the schizophrenic situation will still part of a mental health disorder where they start hearing strange voices that will tell them, die, kill yourself, go and jump into this lagoon, use this pesticide, do this and all of that. That will also increase because one, there's a state of hopelessness, there's no connectedness, and then that lands the person in complete worthlessness and meaningless. And now when you look at pains, the pains of living, if you compare the pains of you being alive vis-a-vis the pain of you dying, because it's not easy to conquer fear, death, and pain. Before somebody would have gotten to that point of conquering fear, death, and pain, a lot may have happened behind that person. There could have been life experiences where the person has been physically abused, where the person has had social challenge. There could be biological reasons, genetical. Then, at the end of the day, there will be exposure. The person have access to something, to like organophosphate pesticide. I don't want to mention a specific name. The person now could take A, B, C, and take my life. At that point, if there's somebody talking to that person, if there's linkage, all of that could help. Because all that person needs to know is that committing suicide has never been the answer to life. Life blows will come. But particularly looking at the social aspect, there are so many social inequality. People are able to barely survive. Financial reasons, problems here and there. And so, there's some kind of crisis. But that's not enough reason for you to want to commit suicide. That's not even the solution to that problem. So it's a very complex thing. But the best is for there to be hope, for that person to feel worthy, and then for that person to have some hope that tomorrow things will even get better.
All right.
To add something to what he said, besides hopelessness, there's this thing about rejection as well. For some people, it's not like they are completely hopeless. Maybe they had just maybe a trade-like size of hope.
Hope.
Yeah, and then they now reach out to people that they think should be able to support them, and then they get
rejection.
Exactly, because in my case, I experienced rejection too. I had people that growing up, I believed I saw them as friends, people that I should be able to, share my challenges with exactly. And at the time when I discovered that, hey, this thing is actually true, I need help, you know, I kind of spoke to them, but I didn't get any positive feedback from them. And with time, I came to understand that they didn't know any better. In fact, at the time I told them, they thought I was faking it. So they did not see any need. They did not see any need to provide the support, because I literally told them, hey, I have some mental health challenges and I need all the support that I can get, you know. But they didn't understand it. And so it was later on that they said, hey, I didn't know, I thought you were faking it. And so I wasn't there. So besides that hopelessness, there's rejection as well. And so what I would say is, if you happen to face rejection, one thing you should do is, you should not give up talking about it. Okay. Look around you. There are definitely people that have your best interest at heart. Even if they don't have the exact solution for you, at least that fact that you have somebody that when your head is full, you can always go to them and download whatever it is that is going through your mind is a lot of relief. Is a lot of relief.
And so to add to it more, the myths and those misconceptions. One way of breaking it is proper education and exact information. Yes, creating awareness. That's what this day is all about. Because when you know that even you that is mocking some other person or some other family could also fall a victim, it will become more realistic that it's not something you should mock at people, because people that live in glass houses don't throw stones. You start having a reorientation, because sometimes when people are having problems, they are depressed, people are quick to laugh and mock at them as though they are superhumans. But we must employ empathy. That's why I take special interest when I see people having low moods. Yes, when I observe it, I take very special interest in those people, because I know something must be going wrong, must be going wrong around them. And so that's why we need all of this information, creating this awareness, let people know that nobody is just immune against suicide. It could occur to anybody.
All right, thank you so much, Doctor. If you want to say something?
No.
You don't want the questions?
I just wanted to add to what they are saying. Okay. If anyone who is having any suicidal thoughts come to you, I think the best thing we could do as humans is we should not mock them. We should listen to them and give them empathy. We should encourage them to involve in activities like fun.
That's why I stated earlier that we should describe it as unshamed conversation. There shouldn't be any shame. I mean, what are you ashamed of? Till people start looking at mental health issues as any other ailment, be it malaria, you start having that perception about it, then
and not criminalize it.
Even criminalizing it, I am of the opinion and an advocate that the government we're so much in a haste to criminalize
suicide.
That's why in all my conversation, you've not heard me say commit suicide, because it's not an offense to me. I don't like using that word.
Well, we've come to realize that it was a wrong idea to penalize or
you shouldn't penalize
people who try to commit suicide, because they actually need help.
People that have
but then let's now think about what actually prompted that conclusion to penalize people who do this.
Well,
because sometimes
most time when they bring up those consequences, they feel it will make a lot of people refrain from it.
Exactly.
But somebody that has suicidal desire does not have all those considerations there. Because somebody that has suicidal desire, I just do this and die. If the person dies, are you still going to try?
Okay, let's take for instance somebody who tries to commit suicide and was being caught by the authority and then being punished. When let to go, do you think that person would, go back to having those suicidal thoughts?
By imprisoning that person or giving any punishment, you've not solved that problem.
Okay.
You've not solved.
Okay, so
but don't forget, these thoughts are usually reoccurring.
Okay.
Yeah. You've not solved my problem. You've confined me. You've punished me. I come out, I'm facing the same problem. The next time I won't want it to be an attempt. I'll go straight to the act itself. And so you find out that I don't think any expert will really agree with that criminalization code. 327.
All right, we really have to go, but then I would love you to tell me just few coping mechanisms, for mental health. When you see people, what are those things you can do on your own? Like she went through this alone, for somebody out there who is having this kind of challenge, what can you tell that person? These are things you should do that could take this suicidal thoughts away from you.
In fact, the universal method is to open up, speak out first.
Okay.
Don't bottle it in. By the time you speak out and it becomes a public knowledge to 2-3-4%, help could just come. Speak out first. Most people that commit suicide, the family are always very surprised because nobody will come and announce it, tomorrow I'll be committing suicide. But they can give you red flags. They can tell you there's how I'm feeling. I'm feeling this. You see them start discussing about death. They start telling you what happens if somebody dies. They just do this. They start making death look like an alternative and trivializing it. So when you start seeing people having such very negative conversation, they need help. Talk to them and they make the proper linkage.
Wow, thank you so much, Dr. Pharmacist Joseph, for coming on the show. They address you as pharmacist, but I think it's better to say doctor.
No, I'm a pharmacist primarily, and I would like to be identified as such.
All right, thank you so much for coming on the show, and thank you so much, Jubilee, for coming on the show and sharing your story with us.
You're welcome.
I'm so happy you were able to, make it out of that situation. Not so many people had that chance to make it out. But see you coming out to advocate against suicide is a great thing you're doing. So thank you very much for that.
Thank you for having me.
All right, so peace, we have to go.
Okay, thank you.
All right, so like she said, I like to talk about the last thing she said, rejection is also another, how did she put it? But let me just put it in my own way. Being rejected is another form of feeling like there is no hope for you. But like she said, that helped her also in her situation. And I think can also help people out there. Even when you are being rejected by one person, you do not give up. Keep speaking out. Keep looking for that help. I'm sure you will get it. All right, that's the much we can offer on the show today. Thank you so much for being a part of it. From all of us in the studios, bye-bye, and thanks for watching.
ADBN, Advocate Broadcasting Network.
It is Groovy Mono, aka the Steez Prince.
Yo, what's up? It's Big Shags. I'm in London.
Hey guys, I'm Princess Jekoko. My name is Mutale Mwanza, the Queen of Zambian Media.
My name is Grand Friends I Tell. Hi guys, my name is Baj Adebule. I'm an actor and a filmmaker.
Hello guys, I'm Folagade Banks.
My name is Kelechi Amadiobi, photographer, storyteller.
My name is Nanrade Dura. I'm an actor.
My name is Chidi Mokeme.
Hi, my name is Ucheuba.
It's TV season.
I'm a Stems.
Hi, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, moms and brothers. I am Jimmy. You can call me the entertainer.
My name is Esio Dometa. I am an actor and a film producer.
My name is Sadiq Kuvala.
Hi. My name is Julius the Genius. I would give a shout out to ADBN.
Big shout out to ADBN TV.
You're watching ADBN.
And you are watching.
Keep watching ADBN TV.
And this is ADBN TV.
And this is a shout out to ADBN TV. Keep watching. Don't switch the dial. Shout out to ADBN. Keep watching. Love.
And you are watching ADBN TV.
Shout out to ADBN TV. I've got one thing for you. Make sure you keep watching ADBN TV.
And shout out
to ADBN TV.
Shout out to ADBN TV. Don't touch that dial.
And you're watching
ADBN TV. Keep watching ADBN TV.
And I'm shouting out to ADBN TV.
You're watching ADBN TV.
Keep watching ADBN TV. This is where to be. And you're watching ADBN.
And shout out to
ADBN TV. And shout out to ADBN TV. Keep watching.
And you're watching ADBN TV.
Keep watching ADBN TV.
Right now, you are checking out ADBN TV. One time.